Okay, thank you for the introduction. So I'm Nelda Kote and I'm computer science. I have a computer science background, and in this paper, I am presenting the data set that we have developed during a national project implemented at my institution in collaboration with 4 linguistics and 4 other colleagues from my institution, Faculty of Information Technology. Unfortunately, I can explain morphological annotation in UD because it started during my PhD studies, where I annotated morphological corpus, but going and annotating it from syntax point of view, I think that for me is a little bit difficult, but I have some experience due to the work that I have done in this project. I was the project manager when we implemented it. So I will do an introduction about the situation of corpora in Albanian language dedicated to morphological and syntax annotation. And after that, I will going to explain some details in the annotation. So the annotated Treebank consists in 24,537 tokens, around 1,400 setnas. Is not a big corpus, of course, it's just a small corpus, but to be emphasized is that this is the first corpora that is annotated by linguistics using the UD framework. Also, if you go in the website of the UD, there are 2 other corpora. One of them is of 60 sentences, but is not annotated from a linguistic, but one of the students that were at the Joachim University for a degree, I don't remember now. And also there is a gag corpora that is one of the dialects in Albanian language, but it is not manually annotated, but it is automatically annotated for morphologic using my older model in automatic annotation morphological, and then after that they have annotated it synthetically. So I give you a panorama of the situation of Albanian language, and I can tell that Albanian language is a low resource language in NLP field. I have mentioned some works done by colleagues before me for annotating in POS or synthetic annotation. Actually, the biggest corpora that exists for Albanian language is the Albanian language corpora, as I know, but it is not an open source corpora, so you can just search on it, but you cannot download it and use it for NLP purposes. In this slide, I have put some statistical about our corpora. So the number of sentence, the number of token, multi-word tokens. If you are familiar with UD, there are tokens that you can split them into main words, let's say. There are some short forms in Albania that are divided like this. The average sentence length is 80 tokens, and then on the second table, I have inserted the most frequent universal POS tag and the DEPREL tag in our corpora. One of the first things that we did when we start the project is the data collection and selection. We have selected the data, so the sentences that we have in our corpora from open source corpora, just not to have conflicts in property rights, and also to have some more complex sentences. We have selected some sentences from fiction books, grammatical books, and the other part is from Leipzig Corpora collection. To mention is that the corpora is in standard Albanian language. So it's the official language, and all the sentences that we have selected and inserted in the corpora are checked before from the linguistics for mis letters, because usually when you write something in Albania, we don't use two letters, and ch, nowadays, and there can be some topographical mistakes. This was because in the Open Corpora Leipzig there is text that is not correctly written in Albania, because they are collected from web. And if you search in web for Albanian content, you can see that there are a lot of mistakes in the text. After that, we have pre-annotated our sentences using the model that I developed during my PhD, but it was just for segmentation, lemmatization, POS, and morphological feature. After that, we manually rechecked all the sentences for segmentation, and after that, usually the segmentation was done by me. So the segmentation of the sentence and also the segmentation of the words or tokens in the sentence. And after that, the linguistics has manually annotated all the corpora. So basically, they have corrected the lemma and POS and grammatical feature, and after that they have inserted the syntactic connection in the sentence. To be mentioned is that we have used a standardized method for annotating. So the two colleagues that has done the synthetic annotation, and the four others that has done morphological and lemmatization, they have agreed before how they will annotate. So they will annotate something in the same way. We use this method because we want to have a standardized data set, due to the fact that it's the first data set and it is small. Because in the meetings that they have how to use the UD framework, they discussed a lot and they don't agree usually to use the same tag in the annotation. The annotation process includes segmentation, so sentence segmentation, word segmentation, lemmatization, and for the lemmatization we have choose to use the Albanian National Dictionary. For this, why I mentioned this? Because usually for adjectives, for example, in Albania, we have a female version and a male version. But in our data set, we have used as lemma of the word just the masculine version, because only this exists in the actual dictionary that we have in Albania. We have used 50 POS tags. Then, depending on the POS tag, we have used some morphological features, and then we have used 32 synthetics tag from the UD tag set. In these slides, I have put all the POS tags that we have used and the morphological feature with each of them. There is an example of one of the sentence with compound verb tense. So the compound verb, the verb in Albania is complex. If you want to annotate it, we have a lot of mood, and in this Treebank, we can see that we are missing some of them. For example, the future, or the compound verb tense. The future is a compound verb tense in Albania that is formed by an AUX verb, so the verb to be, that can be that in Albania is jam and kam, depending if you have an active voice or a non-active voice. So depending, and it's formed with the verb form part, with the particle. So in this case, if we will check the data set, we will not find any future mood in our, or tense in our data set, because we cannot annotate it as it made with 2 tokens. And for example, we cannot, if you have a sentence, automatically we cannot decide if you will have one tense in the conditional or the future tense, because they have the same form, but from the context of the sentence, you can understand which verb form it is. So using this kind of annotation. In adjectives, so I have put some of the things that are specific for Albania. In Albania, the adjectives agree with noun in number, gender, and in case. And we have 3 degree of adjectives, but we can annotate just the positive degree, as the 2 other degrees are formed by multiple words, let's say, or multiple tokens, and we cannot annotate it any more. Also, we can have articulated adjectives in Albania, like the example imas, that is big, and in this case we have used the det tag to annotate the particle in our adjectives in this case. We have 7 categories of pronouns, and depending of the category, we have used some of the features. Also, we have annotated as pronouns the abbreviations of pronouns that we have in our language. And in the traditional Albanian grammar, the articles are not treated as a separate part of speech, but due to the schema that we are using, we align it based on the functionality that they have in the sentence by preserving the grammatical feature. This is another example of the annotation of 2 sentences in Albanian language. And in this case, the examples show the use of the root. So, okay, so in the first example, the root is the verb, but when the root is missing, so when the verb is missing, we have used, in this case, as the root of the sentence, the word, the noun. And also, I have inserted all the examples for different tags, how we have used them in our corpora, but sorry, I cannot explain every of them. Something that we have done not as UD suppose to be done is the annotation of the COP. So in this case, in our corpora, we have annotated in the first sentence the verb as a root, but if we want to follow the UD schema and if we want to put it on the website, we need to make a change. And in this case, the root will be the adjective, in this case, that is happy. Because in this case, the Albanian verb jam, to be, is act as a copula, is annotated as a root because in Albanian, my linguistic, grammatically, they think that the root need to be on the verb. But we are changing these things, and on the version that we will publish on the UD website, it will be according to the UD schema. And we found it after we have finished our annotation in the project, and so we are doing it after that. And I'm going to the conclusion and future work. So adapting Albanian's complex grammar to UD involve challenging, such as lack of direct mappings and ambiguity in assigning tags. And in this case, our database will, our data set will, when we will finish the correction that we UD needs for us to do. We will publish it online on the website, and it will be open for access. And also, we will retrain a language model, a parser using this Treebank. Thank you. Sorry for